Change my raw water pump here. So the first thing you want to do is neglect to disconnect your batteries. You want to work with live wires only. You want to take the live wires and cut them and let them hang in the bilge. Rip out these drywall screws that have been underwater for quite a while and make sure you save them so you can use them for the install, because we ain't made of money out here, you know. That's water coming in the boat, but it just gives you, you know, a time frame so you don't, when you go to mount your new pump, you want to mount it first and let these wires hang in the bilge so that it's harder for you to crimp the wires after it's already installed. The reach screws on the bottom, you just want to find where they bite and just send them home. It's in something, you know. My theory is, working on boats, you want to do just a good enough job that it works, but not such a good job that all your buddies ask you to work on there. Inevitably, you're going to drop all your wires in the bilge and forget which one is positive and negative. So you want to turn on the wires, power to the wires, and then hold them with your fingers until, ooh, it shocks the hell out of you. When you realize that you've bought the wrong size connectors, but you paid $7 for the heat shrink, you want to make sure you cut the wire, and then you can bend it over in half to make it big enough to fit in there, which I've never had that issue. So after you've butchered the nice expensive things that you've bought to make them work for your situation, you want to crimp the wire and you want to squeeze it so hard that you pierce the heat shrink film, and water can still get in there and corrode it even though you've bought the heat shrink connector. And when you go to heat shrink, you want to make sure that you hold the flame way too close and you actually ignite the wire itself, and you still don't ensure a seal. And if you've made it this far without an electrical fire, you're probably not doing it right. Also, you want to make sure that when you put this together, you don't test anything until you've already heat shrunk the only connectors you have and there's no turning back, and your only option is to get back in the truck and drive back to West. And when you zip tie the wires up to finish up, you want to make sure that they're in a spot where they're going to get constantly dripped on with water. Because like I said, you want to be able to do this job again in like a week in the middle of the bay. So you don't want to throw the old pump out even though it doesn't work. You want to keep it around for at least 2 or 3 years, taking up space for no reason other than that you paid like $200 for it a year ago, and it just seems like too much money to spend and throw it away.